WLKY, and it's an investigation into the Breonna Taylor's death. Breonna Taylor's death is accused of wrongful arrest in sexual assault. Yes, this is what it says. It says Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville Metro Police Department Brett Hankison, who apparently he's an issue for the department and stuff, and they've just been taking up for this guy and, just sweeping a lot of stuff underneath of the rug. I also have a video to show you as well. It says, has recently become the subject of investigation by his own department regarding allegations of sexual assault, harassment in the shooting of Breonna Taylor. WLKY has learned in October of 2019, Kendrick Wilson, a Louisville barbershop owner, filed a lawsuit against the LMPD and Brett Hankison, accusing the officers of being a dirty cop with a vendetta. Lawsuit details 3 arrests dating back 2016. Wilson tells the harassment began when he attempted unknowingly to leave a bar with one of Hankison's ex-girlfriends. I opened the door to get in the cab, and he came and pushed the door shut. And I like to see who is this. I said, who is this guy? And he basically started pulling the girl away. So that was my first altercation with Brett Hankison. That's when things started, Wilson said. In March 2016, Hankison arrested Wilson after he was involved in a bar fight. This case was later dismissed. Brett didn't even see what happened in the club that night, Wilson said, but he started the paperwork to have me prosecuted with assault charges, and I had to go to trial for defending myself. And you know what happened with that case? Nothing ever happened because the guy didn't even show up to one of the court dates because he knew he assaulted me. In June 2018, Hankison arrested Wilson again with the charge of trafficking of a controlled substance, tampering with physical evidence, and resisting arrest. In Wilson's civil lawsuit, he alleges Hankison planted the drugs on the side nearby as Wilson was being arrested. Wilson's criminal defense lawyer in the case, Rob Edgar, argued that the suppression hearing, it was impossible for his client to have had those drugs. He stated there is no evidence that he threw them or even possessed them in court. Edgar referenced a frame of video showing that the drugs appeared in a place that was empty just moments before. Wilson stayed in jail overnight. After the arrest, I'm going to jail for something I did not do. I was pissed, he said. This case is still pending. Edgar said, in this case, it is not dismissed. We will defend Wilson at trial. In October 2018, Wilson was arrested again by Hankison for a drug offense. It was dismissed less than 2 months later. Wow. Wilson's civil lawsuit details another incident in October 2019, where Wilson said LMPD officers pulled him from his job at the fort and raided his home and barbershop on Barstown Road. According to the lawsuit, officers told Wilson that they were looking for drug money, not drugs. No drugs were found and no money was recovered. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I don't even smoke cigarettes, Wilson said. Wilson said because of his experience with Hankison and the LMPD, he has been involved in recent protests in downtown Louisville. If you look at me down at the protest, you'll see me screaming and yelling, cursing because I'm furious. If you look at my video of me in the cop's car, you can see I'm cursing because I'm furious. But listen to the words that I am saying. I told him he was a dirty cop. I told him that he was going to pay for this. I told him that I was going to bring him down, and he laughed and giggled. Wilson said Hankison is a dirty cop, and he's calling on LMPD officers to come forward and share their stories. You guys need to turn on him. Quit protecting the shield and the badge. This is no longer a brotherhood, he said. Wilson said he talked to the same woman who spoken out against Hankison on social media. I know the girls who came forward are scared to death, but I empowered them. I said, you do not have to be scared of the police. Wilson said his fight is no longer about himself anymore, and he could receive, as a result of the lawsuit, he says this is about ridding the Department of Police of officers who are not upholding their sworn oath. He needs to be exposed because he tried to take away my freedom, Wilson said. No justice, no peace. We're saying is we're going to stand up and fight and keep fighting. WLKY filed an open records request document to complain in lawsuit filed against Hankison. LMPD responded to our request and said due to the volume of Hankison's file, the redactions that needed to be made, the documents will likely be ready in August. Good Lord, August. That's a long time. Not in the regular sense of our regular things that's going on, but if you're fighting for your freedom and your reputation and everything, August is a long time. Let me just say that. Following the shooting death of Breonna Taylor, LMPD released a portion of Hankison's personal file, which included 44 commendations. Hankison has been with the Louisville Metro Police Department since 2003. LMPD is Public Integrity Unit is investigating allegations of sexual assault and harassment made by Hankison on social media. Spokesman Sergeant Lamont Washington says, we are aware of these posts and are investigating and our investigators are looking into the allegations. If anyone has any information about these cases, we encourage you to call the number that's listed below. And they actually have
in the shooting of Breonna Taylor. WLKY has been investigating allegations of unlawful arrest made against that same officer. We spoke to a Louisville man, Kendrick Wilson, who filed a lawsuit against Brett Hankison and the LMPD last October, calling Hankison a dirty cop with a vendetta. Drew Gardner has the story.
And he needs to be exposed because he tried to take away my freedom.
Kendrick Wilson has had several run-ins with LMPD and Officer Brett Hankison and says it's no coincidence. He says his first encounter with Hankison was in March 2016 while leaving a bar in St. Matthews.
When I opened the door to get the girl in the cab because the Uber we was ready to pull off, he came and pushed the door, slammed the door shut. And I'm like, who is this guy? And basically started pulling the girl.
Wilson says he was unknowingly with Hankison's ex-girlfriend, and that's when his trouble began. Over the next 3 years, Wilson, who owned a barbershop on Bardstown Road, was arrested by Hankison 3 times. In March of 2016, Wilson was charged with assault in connection with a bar fight. That charge was later dismissed. In June of 2018, he was arrested on charges of trafficking, tampering with physical evidence, and resisting arrest. His attorney tells us this case is still pending, but provided this body cam video showing that drugs appear several feet away from where Wilson was standing on the sidewalk in handcuffs. Attorney Rob Eggert says there is no evidence Wilson either possessed the drugs or threw them. Bystanders can be heard in the video saying they watched someone drop the bag on the ground. Months later, in October of 2018, Hankison arrested Wilson again in St. Matthews for criminal trespass and trafficking cocaine. According to the lawsuit and court records, those charges were dropped less than 2 months later after lab tests for drugs came back negative. In October of 2019, Wilson details another incident.
Not only have I been falsely arrested, my business has been taken away from me. My house has been raided. I was slandered in my neighborhood. I just bought my house a year ago. You know how many cops pulled up at my house? They took me out in front of my business, in front of all my customers, had me in handcuffs.
According to Wilson, police said they were searching his home, car, and barbershop for drugs. A barbershop Wilson owned for 3 years, where even the mayor had visited.
They came and got me at Ford. They had cops all in Ford's parking lot. The whole Ford Motor Company was talking about this. They had cops all in their parking lot. They got me. Then you know what they did? They took me to my barbershop, made me unlock my door, which I don't think they had permission to do that. They made me do that, made me unlock my door, took me in my barbershop. Cops pulled up front and back, K9 dogs, all in my shop. You know what they found? Nothing.
Wilson tells us his experiences with police inspired him to join protesters in downtown Louisville.
If you look at me down at the protest, I'm cussing, I'm screaming, I'm yelling because I'm furious. When I was in his car, I was cussing, screaming, I was yelling because I was furious. But listen to the words that I was saying to him. I told him he's a dirty cop. I told him he's going to pay for this. I told him I'm going to bring him down. And he laughed and giggled. Laughed and giggled.
He now has a message for police officers who know and work with Officer Brett Hankison.
You people who are with the badge on, y'all are a part of what Brett's doing. And if y'all don't want to be associated with that and y'all don't want to be labeled bad cops, then come out and talk. And you guys need to turn on him. Quit protecting the shield and the badge. This is no longer a brotherhood.
Drew Gardner, WLKY News.
This gentleman right here is truly a menace to society. This man not only is one of the people responsible for Breonna Taylor's murder, I wanted to go as far, to be honest with you, I wanted to go as far as the judge that gave the okay, because you can't get a search warrant without a judge's okay. I want to know the judge's explanation, like what was his decision making process when he decided to get to approve a warrant, a no-knock warrant. And to be honest with you, that they wasn't doing that to serve for no drugs or nothing like that. They had no evidence. I'm telling you right now, they had no evidence to support that. And it's very sad that the margin of evidence that they did, quote unquote, have, for one, it was probably cut and paste together from another goddamn case. That's one. Two, you know, it's probably an issue where, okay, look, I'm not even gonna go there. But for the most part, then they're trying to charge Breonna Taylor's boyfriend with attempted murder because when he shot his gun, one of the cops got shot in the leg. Another question that came up in another news story that I've seen about Breonna Taylor was, where did he get his evidence from? And in addition to that, him getting his evidence, Hankison and them getting their evidence, they do have stand your ground laws in that state. You could clearly see if you go back and look at the interrogation once everything was said and done, and they had brought his Breonna Taylor's boyfriend into the station. He clearly says in the video, "I don't know. We didn't know who they were. They didn't say anything. They didn't announce themselves or anything like that. All we heard was banging on the door, and the boy is tore up." This is why I couldn't do the initial story on Breonna Taylor, because I saw that, and I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I lost my shit. I lost it. So, again, it's a lot of things involved with that, and then to find out that it's another gentleman just because he was with Bill Hankison's ex-girlfriend. This man has endured public humiliation. He damn near, his business, his house, and everything in his reputation is just trashed right now because of this person. This person that has an officer, that is an officer of the law, and took an oath to swear to serve and protect the citizens, is basically, trash this man's life, basically. And then other cases, sexual assault with 2 other women that's going on. Like, these cops are dirty and they still are able to keep their badge. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. Like, why are they allowed to keep their badge? Why are they still a member of any police force? Why are they not in jail? The man has tampering of evidence on his case. I mean, come on. What more do you need? I mean, when is this supposed to end? And I'm scrolling so y'all can read the transcripts as I'm talking to y'all. And I just feel as though it's very important for this information to get out here, because a lot of media outlets are not going to talk about it. A lot of media outlets are not going to say anything about it. They'll probably hit and tap and tip over it and, give a little, don't give a little, this, that, and the third. But I will be updating everyone on this case. There's tons of more news feeds that I have to go through to look through all the stuff. I'm gonna try to find the one about the 2 girls, and it's just too much. And the transcripts are long. Let me just tell y'all, very, very long. So now that everything is coming to pass and everything is being exposed and shown, not just in Louisville, where this happened at, but in other states and other cases, cops are being exposed, and they're being exposed for the criminals that they are. When people say that the police officers are a gang, believe it, because they are a gang. They are a gang that has the law on their side. And just like the young lady on Instagram, when she went to the town hall and spoke, and the videos on my Instagram, it's not a blue shield, it's not a blue lives, it's a fucking blue shirt. It's a blue shirt and a fucking badge. They are a gang, and people need to start saying that these people are a gang. They are gang members. No, they're not the Bloods or the Crips or the MS-13s or BGF or, or anything like that. They are a serious fucking gang, and they have been a gang since their inception to, quote unquote, protect the white people against the slaves. And people just need to understand that. Look at all this stuff. This one cop now, this one cop has managed to do a lot of stuff. But if it was me or you, we'd be in jail right now. We'd be on our 4th, 5th year of a 20, 25, 40 year sentence. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is this man man not in jail? Why has he not had his rank and his badge and his title and everything else snatched away from him? I don't understand. I'm not. Because you're not going to sit here and tell me that this man is afforded the rights of every other citizen when he's done all this stuff. And they have swept this underneath of the rug. And I'm pretty sure them two girls is terrified right now, just like the gentleman Wilson said. These two ladies are terrified right now. I'm hoping and praying that it's no repercussions for these ladies. I hope and pray that that's not the case. But again, if you want to see the rest of this, you can definitely always come on over to WLKY TV. I will leave the link in the description. Please go check it out, read the transcripts, and basically see for yourself, because apparently I can't show everything on here because the video will be way too freaking long. And I would like to get y'all thoughts about this. Let's start a dialogue. I will be going live probably next week, and I'll explain why I haven't been live then. But I will be going live next week. Wait a minute. Yeah, next week. Next week. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to drop down in the comments, in the comment section, and let me know what's going on. If you're looking forward to me being live, please let me also know that in the comments, because I miss you guys. But